please hit that subscribe button.
Hey everybody.
Better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live.
Hey everybody, so it's time for another draft profile video looking at the top prospects in the 2020 NHL Draft. And today we're going to be talking about center Quinton Byfield from the OHL, who is projected to be a top 3 pick in this year's NHL Draft. Now, before we begin, I just ask that you please hit that subscribe button if you're new, and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, as those likes really go a long way and help the channel a lot. Let's get over to the other screen here and start talking about Quinton Byfield, who certainly one of the top prospects going into this draft. Like I said, he plays center, and he is a big boy. 6'4", 214 pounds at 18 years old. Played in the OHL last year with Sudbury. 45 games played, 32 goals, 50 assists for 82 points, 44 penalty minutes, and a plus 26 rating. I have him ranked number 2 in my draft rankings this year. Just very, very good player. Good goal scoring ability as well as playmaking ability, and there's a lot to like with Quinton Byfield. I watched a lot of highlights and tape of him, and just to see as much as I could and see him in action and what kind of player he is. Few things I noticed: he has a great shot for a center. A lot of times we think of centers as more of playmakers and setup guys, and wingers more as the goal scorers. Quinton Byfield's going to score a lot of goals. He has a great shot for a center, so that's something that certainly stood out to me. And 32 goals in 45 games played. I think that pretty much speaks for itself there. He can put the puck in the net. He has filthy hands, and you don't always see that with bigger players. A lot of times bigger players use more of just a straight line, use their body, use their size, and you don't see the elite skill in these guys. Byfield has the elite skill as well, and he has the elite hands. He's got very, very good hands. He's good with the puck. Like I said, he can shoot, but he can also dish it off and pass really well. He's got really filthy hands, especially for someone of that size. Speaking of his size, superior NHL size. A lot of these prospects that we see, obviously you have your normal NHL size, are around 6 foot, 6'1", 190-ish pounds. We've seen quite a few smaller guys. I think a lot of the guys that we're talking about as early round picks this year are on the 6 foot or under and under 200 pounds. Quinton Byfield is already an NHL-sized player at 6'4", 214. And he's only going to get bigger and stronger as he grows into his body, continues to grow up, and gets on an NHL weight training program. And I think his playing weight will certainly be over 220 pounds when he fully is grown. And he's got a huge frame. He's got a superior NHL size without a doubt. And he's going to be a tough guy to handle for defensemen, especially smaller defensemen. And we see smaller defensemen coming into the league now more and more. They're going to struggle to physically contain a guy like Quinton Byfield in the NHL. He's a very good skater. And again, a lot of times we don't see that with players of this size. A lot of times the bigger players, skating is usually a weakness for them, and they're not as fast. He's a very, very good skater. He's powerful. He's strong on his skates. He can move. He's speedy for his size. Very, very fast for his size. It's not a combination that you see very often. And overall, with Quinton Byfield, I think what makes him such a great prospect and such, really so high up in this draft is you very, very rarely see this combination of size, speed, and skill. We've seen big centers before, but a lot of times they're more shut down, defensive-minded centers. They don't have the elite speed and skill. We've seen plenty of speedy and skilled centers without a doubt, but very few of them have this kind of size and this kind of body, where Byfield's 6'4" and probably going to be over 220 pounds in the NHL. So when we talk about comparables, there's not a lot of guys to compare Quinton Byfield to, because this is a rare combination of size, speed, and skill. The number one person, without a doubt, and really the only one that I think is kind of a direct comparison, is Evgeny Malkin. And that's a lofty comparison, to say the least, as Malkin has been one of the best players in the league now for 15 years. But when, he's really the only guy I think of that plays the way similar style to Byfield and has the size of Quinton Byfield. But Malkin's a big guy who plays center and is an elite top six talent. He can score. He can dish the puck. He's a great skater. Byfield can score. He can dish the puck. He's a great skater, and he's got that big size and that huge frame that very few people actually have, along with that speed and skill. And another one who's not as much of a direct comparison, but is also another big center who's got elite offensive ability, and that's Alexander Barkov. I don't think Byfield certainly does not, at least right now, have the defensive game of Alexander Barkov. Barkov is a guy who is in the Selke Trophy conversation year in and year out. Byfield is not that player defensively. But as far as a big frame, a large body, Barkov's a big boy, Byfield's a big guy. And is the ability to not only dish the puck, but score as well. Barkov's a guy who, sure, most centers are going to rack up assists. Barkov, he dishes the puck very well, but he can also put the puck in the net. And that's something that Byfield has that you don't always see as well. So I think the most direct comparison absolutely is Evgeny Malkin, but I think Barkov is there as well, at least as far as the big body with high-end offensive upside. Byfield's got that as well, but he does remind me a lot of a young Evgeny Malkin. I don't know if he'll ever reach the ceiling that Malkin has. It's certainly possible. He's going number 2 or number 3 in this draft for a reason. But just as far as the big body and the style of play, he's very Evgeny Malkin-like. So that's the profile here for Byfield. Again, just very, very rare combination of size, speed, and skill. He's going to be a legitimate top 6 center without a doubt. He should be a top line center, and you don't see players like this very often with all of these different assets to his game. So it's going to be interesting to see if he goes at number 2 or number 3. He'll either be going to LA or Ottawa, but whoever gets him is going to be getting a very, very good young center and someone with a ton of potential upside and a very NHL-ready body as well. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.